That foreshadowing for the finale of the episode. Oh my. Okay, so can we just say for a moment that that scene at the end of the episode was so good with how it fit with the story that Yakumo, aka Bon, what he was saying to the entire audience. That story fits so well. When you see Mio pop up, you see Sukeroku, how he starts and he finally talks to Bon. That scene, oh my god, that just the meaning of that, even just the story playing a part with that. And then as he's having a breakdown, it looks like his health is deteriorating to a point, he just like hits the ground. You see how he lands up against the back of the table, which that right there, I'm going to assume in terms of symbolism, that means that he probably can't breathe. Like, he probably can't breathe at all, and that's why it feels like he's probably being strangled, because he can't breathe. And it just shows you that Bon's health is to the point where most likely he can no longer continue to do Rakugo. And that's very scary. I mean, we already knew when the series began, like when Season 2 began, that Bon was probably not going to make it out of Season 2. I even talked about this in my first episode review because of the opening song. The opening song alone is just ominous as fuck. Regardless of the change in the opening this week with the red eyes of Sukeroku, it was still an ominous opening song that showed that definitely Bon is going to die. And we kind of expected this. And I mean, at the beginning of the episode, it starts off with a conversation with a bunch of people talking about, hey, you know, the 8th generation doesn't sound like he normally does. It seems like his health is, you know, starting to deteriorate. You know, he's around that age and stuff, so it's bound to happen. It happens to everyone. And so when the episode starts off kind of with that, you know it's probably going to be a dark episode. I didn't really think much about it at the time, though, because I thought it was actually hinting towards the end game of Season 2. Because, I mean, I'm fully aware that Bon most likely is not going to make it. I mean, his health is just, it's very clear that he is reaching that point where he's going to die of old age, and that's very clear now at the end of this episode. But I didn't think that, you know, start of the episode with the, you know, the talk with the characters would actually play a part with the finale of the episode, and let alone of how important this was. It was a big Rakugo play that was going on, a big performance, and the way this happened, I felt so bad for Bon, because you gotta realize this. That man, when he's sitting there actually telling the story, he actually sees Mio in front of him, and he's like, you just see the shock on his face. You could just see the absolute shock and the worry. And then when this man, he actually is just freaking out, you can see how he's trying to just gather his thoughts and stuff, and he's trying to continue the story. You can see how he's scrambling about trying to make sure he finishes it, because he realizes something is going on within himself. Number one, seeing Mio of all people, that definitely affected him, and he thought he already moved past that entire point in his life. He thought he already moved past, you know, Sukeroku and also Mio, but clearly not. When he sees that and he's retelling the story and he sees Mio and he sees Sukeroku, it shows how much they still mean to him and how much that still affects his life to this day. And when he's actually passing out, and you see Sukeroku, how he just grabs him by the throat, puts him onto the table, and his back is up against it, that is a beautiful scene. Rakugo is such a good series. To be able to give so much emotions just through storytelling like that is an impressive feat. It really is. I mean, just being able to tell a story like that, and you can imagine it in your mind without even seeing the images change to it, already makes it an impressive series. But when the actual visuals change to match the story, that's when it looks even better than it already did. And that's what happened at the end of this story. Something really real happened to Bon. He had something that made him feel like he was seeing people that should have been already dead. So, well done, Rakugo. That was a very good finale to this episode. A lot of emotions there. A lot of emotions. I do hope that Bon manages to pull through overall, though. I mean, I know he's probably gonna die, but I hope he manages to pull through and, at the very least, able to see what, you know, Yotaro wants to do with the Rakugo world. See how much he's going to change it, because that's kind of what the opening song looks like. And so I do hope that, you know, Bon, at the very least, if he's going to die, I want him to see the change. I want him to see Rakugo continuing to live on instead of dying in a hole. I want him to be able to accept this change and understand it. So hopefully that is something that happens, but I mean, it possibly might not, because I mean, the way his health is, judging by the way the symbolism probably was with that scene, with how, you know, his throat was being grabbed, he might die. He probably suffered a heart attack or something. He's probably having a heart attack or whatever. I mean, that's what it looked like to me, so who knows. Either way, though, the episode of Rakugo, very intense, and a lot of emotions mixed in, and some happier moments too, especially with Yotaro, and how you see some, just moments with him and his wife Konatsu. Love those scenes. I've been loving those scenes in recent episodes. I love those two's relationship. I love little Shin as well, such a cute, sweet boy, and how, he's just watching his dad, just listening to Rakugo. Very sweet moment as well when it came to that. And so there was just a very good amount of moments throughout this episode, very happy moments, which really just shows that how big the tone shift was towards the end of the episode, because a lot of this episode was very nice. It was a happy feeling. I mean, you had the entire scene with Bon and how he was going to do a family performance with, Yotaro, and then eventually this happened at the end, and it fucked it all up, and so now, like, the entire tone has shifted over into a darker atmosphere compared to what it already was, and now that I think about it, this episode was very self-aware. Not just the fact that the people were talking about how Bon's health has deteriorated, but they also even stated, like, what are you doing? We're having a good time here. We're having a good mood. Why are you bringing up all this, sad and dark shit? Do you remember they said that? Not the exact word for word, but they said something very similar to that. They said, like, why are you darkening the mood? Like, we had a good mood going on here. And that's exactly what this episode was. It had a very good mood going on, and then it went to shit. It just went to complete utter shit. Like, oh shit, this just went completely dark. So, I see you, Rakugo. I see what you did there. That was good. That was really good. Very subtle, by the way. Very good, too. So, yeah. Episode overall, I enjoyed it. I cannot wait to see what's gonna happen next because of, the finale of this episode. It's gonna be a living hell trying to, wait until next episode because, I mean, waiting another entire week just to see another episode sucks. It really does. And I guess that's, the curse of, seasonal anime. When you're getting into a series, you love the episodes, obviously, if you're up to date, you're gonna have to wait for a new episode to come out. That same can be said for manga chapters. It just really sucks. When you love a series so much, and you have to wait till next week, or whatever, how long it is, to see more content, it kinda sucks. But, I mean, I'm willing to wait for good quality content, especially Rakugo. It's one of my personal favorites to watch in, the season, so I'm fine with it. Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.